Happy St. Patrick's Day here. It's Travis Anderson with KW, of course, and thought I'd do a weekly market update video and talk about a little bit about the coronavirus. So this is going to be a nice short 3-4 minute video, and we'll just let you know what's going on as we prepare for kind of these interesting times moving forward. So number one, real quick client updates, at least what we're working with right now. We do have listing appointments this week. We've signed a brand new listing coming on the market on Friday. That's 170,000 in St. Paul. We've got 2 appointments this week, one in Maple Grove, one in Maplewood. I had an appointment last week in Burnsville. I mean, people are still having conversations about real estate. We have buyers right now looking in the majority of the Twin Cities. We have, currently 15, 16 active clients, both buyers and sellers. And so no matter what's going on in the industry or the economy, let's say, with kind of the fear of this coronavirus, we're still feeling very active currently. And so I just want to put some ease that currently is happening in our business. As far as a market update goes, listings are very stagnant. So I think it's a good thing for the sellers that I am meeting with, for them to understand, or for you to understand, that listings right now are at a flat line. And so when I look at the averages, we have about 8,000 listings in the Twin Cities active at any moment in time. So to give you a frame of reference, the average over the last 3 years is about 11,000. And that's average even including like seasonal increases. And so we're pretty low, we're 3,000 homes on the market low on average. It peaked over the last 3 years, it peaked at 13,500 kind of right in the middle of the year, June, July. And so I do expect listings to continue to increase as far as the number that come on the market. Fully expect that to continue as far as our seasonal market might go. And we'll see, I'll continue to report here as we navigate this coronavirus. I'll continue to report with you so you understand where the market's maybe moving as best as I can without being able to predict the future, of course. So currently, still stagnant. We really should be more like 10, 11,000, peaking maybe at 14 or 15,000 instead of that 13.5 that we've seen over the last couple of years. On the same token, pending sales, in other words, buyers that are walking through homes, writing offers on houses, that's skyrocketing. I'm looking at a graph right now, and it bottoms out in December every single year. It kind of peaks in the middle of the year, and over the last few years, I mean, it's a steep angle. Let's see if I can get that. Boom! It kind of looks like that, a steep angle going up. And so every single day that goes by, more and more buyers are buying. Last week, we put a home on the market in Lakeville. We had 7 offers, right? Now, this isn't every single home that we put an offer on gets 7 offers, but that particular home did, which leads me to believe that at least over the weekend, there were people still looking. Now, things have changed here over the last 2 days, right? Businesses are starting to get shut down, but understand, at least for now, I feel like the real estate market is moving the way that it needs to move, in the way that we probably would normally see it move as far as buyer activity. Would like to see a few more listings, a few more choices for buyers, and I'm talking market as a whole right now. Your specific market might be very different, and that's something that we've probably already talked about, or we can talk more about. So as far as the coronavirus right now, I don't think that it's affecting the real estate market at all. With that being said, who knows what's going to happen here? I mean, if we have businesses that are shut down for weeks, if not a couple of months on end, and then we start to see like layoffs and people losing their jobs, that's going to directly affect the job market, which of course affects people's ability to pay their mortgage, which then would affect the real estate market. So for the foreseeable future, it doesn't appear that we're going to be in any sort of catastrophic changes. However, we don't know what's going to happen in the event that businesses are shut down for longer than we might expect. So that's kind of that market update, client update. Thought I'd give you a little personal perspective here on something. So my furnace broke the other day, and I started doing YouTube research and kind of went through the checklist items. I want to give you kind of the order of items if a furnace stops working, and I think that this might be helpful for you and your family and friends. So the very first thing we should do is check that furnace filter. It's interesting that I called my preferred HVAC technician And he was like, it's probably a bad filter, dude, right? And yeah, like pull the filter up, it was a little bit dirty, and that actually can make the furnace overheat, etc., right? There's lots of things, I don't want to go through the why, but check that furnace filter. If your furnace breaks down, that's the first thing. The second thing to do would be to check the batteries in the thermostat. So my thermostat doesn't have power going to it. It's actually only battery powered. So if the batteries are low, then the thermostat doesn't have enough power to communicate to the furnace. It's really odd. Most thermostats actually do have some form of power, a low voltage type power to it, but maybe not. So check the battery in your thermostat. Number 3, this is actually where my furnace has the problem. It's cleaning the furnace thoroughly. I just did some work in the basement, had some sheetrock dust all over the place. The furnace sucked up that sheetrock dust, plugged my filter, which I've been replacing about once a week since we've been doing the construction. Doesn't matter. It's not enough, right? So it plugged the filter, and then some of that sheetrock dust made it through the filter or through the cavities in another way, and ended up kind of gumming up the mechanical components of the furnace. And so it's overheating because of those things. So that was the third thing. I ended up taking the furnace apart, shut the power down, shut the gas off, and then I cleaned it up really quick. And then the fourth thing would be, if now your furnace still isn't working, then we would move on to, is there a switch that's broken? Is there a sensor that's broken? Something like that. But before you call an HVAC technician, right? Before you call somebody to come out, where you're gonna spend $150 to have them up to the home, first change the filter, check the batteries in your thermostat, maybe do a cleaning yourself. Check if there's maybe a fuse, something that's really simple before you actually have to do like bolt on items before you call a technician. So again, my name's Travis Anderson. We're gonna do weekly updates, especially during this coronavirus instead of our traditional monthly updates. I hope that this is helpful for you, and call me if you have any questions.